Well, welcome to our class today, Better Marketing Properties using RELA, R-E-L-A. This is your free OC Realtors member benefit of creating property websites specifically for your listings. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Anthony. And let me see if I get to the next slide. There we go. My name is Anthony. I work here at Orange County Realtors. Been here now for coming up on 20 years. Started off in the MLS department. So I know guaranteed I'll speak to everybody regarding rules, regulations, violations, all that fun stuff. What I'm also involved with is our outreach program. Our outreach program is designed to give you training on all your tools and products. So not only do I train on MLS, how to run searches, how to modify listings, all that fun stuff, I also train on zip forms, showing you how to use your free CAR member benefit product to create transactions electronically for your contracts, how to digitally sign those contracts, and of course, all the advanced tools that zip forms has to offer. But I also give training on tech. I love showing real estate agents how they can utilize their technology tools like their cell phones or tablet devices to get into the MLS and write up offers using zip forms mobile and all the other fun, cool things that mobile has to offer nowadays. But I also love showing agents how they can utilize their free member benefits offered to them. Now, specifically, what we're going to go over today is your free member benefit of creating a property website. Now, this is really great for when you're listing a property, whether you're listing a for sale, a lease, commercial, residential property. You as a listing agent have the right to market that property and how best to market it, but a property specific website. Now, I know when I say a property specific website, how many of you all are really freaked out thinking that creating a property website is going to take a lot of time, effort, and of course, a lot of money to do? Anybody? You can show me your hands real quick. Because it sounds like, geez, if I have to create a website, don't I need to know HTML programming? Don't I need to know this or that and the other thing? Not at all. As a matter of fact, this class and this tool will allow you to create a property-specific website in as easy as 5 basic steps. And actually, you could use those 5 steps to create a property website in less than 5 minutes. If you've got all the listing details and things like that, then this is the thing to do. Now, RELA is the company that allows you to be able to do this. Now, if you go to www.rela.com, you'll notice here that on their website, it talks about creating a property-specific website, what you can do, this, that, and the other. But if you go down all the way down below, you see here under their pricing and plans that to even start making a property website, it's going to cost you $24 a month, right? For only one active property website, it's meaning that you could have 1,000 of them, but only one active at any given time. That's going to cost you $24. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. Tony, you just said this was our free member benefit. And you're right. You do have this as a free benefit. So this is what makes it unique to you, the listing agent, part of Orange County Realtors. Now, what you'll need to do is that you're going to need to go to the website www.rela, H as in Harry, Q as in quit.com/OCR. Now from here, looks fairly similar, but if we go down to the pricing and plans, it says here that for Orange County Realtors, this is free, and the free version allows you to have up to 3 active property websites at any given time. Now, you can have 1,000 websites, or you can create 1,000 different websites, but only 3 of those being active are at no cost to you. So right away, it's a huge savings to you of about, I want to say $75 a month, right? 24, rounded up to $25. So that's about a $75 a month savings to have at least 3 property active websites. Whereas everybody else who's not an Orange County member is paying for each of their websites. If you need more because you're a listing machine, then they give you a discount. So instead of paying $49 or $100, you're actually paying $39 to have up to 5 active websites, or $80 instead of $100 to have up to 25 websites. Now, if you list periodically, 1 or 2 listings a month, you put one up, then you take it down when it goes into escrow, this free version should be more than enough. Not to mention, there's some things here in the free version that you're going to be able to access that the paid service doesn't even have access to, at least not right away. Now, how do we do this? Today, what you're going to do from this particular website, and yes, May, I see here that you have your hand raised. Did you have a question? No? No question? Okay. So, what you all need to do is activate your free member benefit. Let's see. Please write the link. Oh, sure, Sadaka. So here, what we're going to do is I'm going to send this to everyone. So I want you to go to www, and I'm writing this in the chat, relahq.com/OCR. And I just put it in the chat for you. Okay. Now from here, what we're going to need to do is activate our free account. How we activate our free account, simply here where it says Orange County Realtors, put in your first name, put in your last name, put in your email address. You're going to need to create a password, okay? And then put in your user ID for the MLS. Once you put in all this information, you're then going to click on Create Free Account. Once you do that, it's going to say, congratulations, you've created your account, at which point you can now log in to their website. Oops. And I see here there's a question. How long is this benefit for free? Indefinitely, as long as we have users using this particular portal. So we've been offering REALTOR now for, I want to say, almost 6 years as a free benefit. So it's still to this day a free member benefit. I think out of our 15,000 members, we have about 1,200 users that actually use this platform. Does that help, Sadaka? So here, after you create a username and password, you're going to be able to log in. Okay. Now, once you log in, you may be logged into your dashboard just like so. Now, I'm going to show you the 5 easy steps to make a property website. You've never heard of this before? That's why we're here today, to show you this benefit. Yeah, I know I've been training on this now for close to 5-6 years. I talk about it all the time. Not every agent does it, but I think you guys should. Just because nowadays with marketing, things like that are huge. Now, granted, I know that in today's market, it's really easy to show, list a property in the MLS. You've got 30 offers on it without really doing much marketing. But in the long game, when we start changing the market, say we start going back into a buyer's market, right? Whereby now competition is huge for your listing, and or to sit down with a potential seller to show what it is that you do to be able to market their property. Creating a property website, just like what I'm about to show you today, is going to help show tangible results. It's going to show that what you do uniquely for a client when you go and list a property, regardless. And what's really also cool with RELA, and I'm going to show you that today, is that if you have a Facebook business page, you can actually link your RELA account with Facebook targeted marketing on your Facebook business page to create targeted ads in less than 30 seconds, or at least I should say 2 minutes, to be able to obtain leads for your property. And those leads come directly to you. They don't go and get filtered by anybody else. They come directly to you. So this is way better than these third-party websites that you're paying thousands upon thousands of dollars to generate buyer leads. So this is going to be something great for you and your clients. So now, once we activate our account, we go to log in. We are now ready to follow an easy 5-step process to make a property website. How we make a property website? If we're a listing agent, we very simply, after we log in, we're going to come over to the top right corner to where it says add a property. We're going to click add a property. From here, we're now going to type in the property address that we are the listing agent on. Now, this is key. You have to be the listing agent. You cannot just arbitrarily make a property website for someone else's listing, okay? Because when all is said and done on the property website, it will say listed by in your name. If you are not the listing agent on the listing, then you shouldn't be creating a property website or doing any advertising for that listing, okay? Especially when you post it as active. But here today, what I'm going to use an address, and now I'm going to say add a property. Can we do someone else's open house? That you would have to talk to the listing agent on, but you would not create a property website for someone else's listing, just so you know, Sadaka. Whether the listing agent allows you to sit through their open house, that would be something that you would talk to them about. But yeah, you could do that. William asks, what if you're a co-agent? Then by all means, you could do that, but you would want to make sure that your other agent that you're a co-agent with hasn't already made a property website on this property. So they can give you credit as the co-agent on their property website if you're the co-agent, or vice versa. So if you are partners, now all of a sudden you've got the ability to have 6 property websites, one where you're the main listing agent and the other one where they're the main listing agent on those 3. Does that make sense, Will? So yes, it can be done. You just got to be careful. All right, so after we add the property, here, step 1, we add the property. Step 2, we're going to fill in the property details. Here we can write in a property description. So here we can do is write a property description. Now, here's a couple of things here. In the MLS, you have a property description, right? But as we all know, we are very limited to what we can say in that property description. Specifically, per the MLS rules, you're not allowed to have any phone numbers, email address, showing instructions, anything like that in the MLS, okay? You can't even mention your own name. But here in your property description for your personal website, this does not need to adhere fully to the MLS rules. So you can say things like, call me for showings. Property won't last. 949 586 6800, or email me with questions. You can say things like this. Number 2, in the MLS, the property description also has a limited set amount of characters that you can write about the property. I want to say it's about 1,700 characters. Here on your property website, you are unlimited on what you can write in the property description. You could copy and paste your property description in here and then add more to it if you wish. So you can write as much as you want, say as much as you want, okay, for your property. Now, you do want to be careful of fair housing. You don't want to say any language that would be considered violations against fair housing laws. So don't say things like, this is a great home for a family, great home for an executive, walking distance to a certain area, things like that. Why? Because you don't want to discriminate against any one particular group of people. Even though you go, well, geez, walking distance, why is that bad? Just know that not everybody is able to walk. And those people who can't walk may feel like they are being discriminated if they can't get to a place. So make sure that you're using language that is not fair housing, not fair housing violations. Okay, so be careful of that. So after you write your property description, here, don't need to worry about the listing status. Okay, why? Because right now the property website's not published, as found here at the upper left corner. When I am ready to publish this property, I just need to click on the down arrow here and publish the property, which will now make this property website active. Under general, the property type, here we have single family, duplex, triplex, quadplex, condo, co-op, multi-unit, and of course other or miscellaneous. So agents, we were talking about all you got to do is be a listing agent on a property to make your own property website. Now, I know a lot of people think, well, geez, I can only do this for sales. Not at all. I can only do this for residential. Not at all. Look, a duplex, triplex, quadplex, those are residential income style properties. Other could be like the apartment building or an apartment, or maybe it's a residential lease. So right now, you are not limited to advertising any of your properties to have its own property-specific website. Pick the one that best suits the situation. As for the list price, put in what the list price is. Oops, one too many zeros. You don't need to worry about display price because the list price will always be the dominant price on your property website. You can indicate when the property was built. You can indicate how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, and of course half baths. Down below, property square footage, the lot size in square feet or acres, how many stories, okay, is the garage attached or detached, or none, or other? Maybe it's an attached garage, and it's got a total number of 4 parking spaces, 2 in the garage, and of course, 2 parking spaces on the driveway. Total is 4. Now, underneath the property description, back over here to the left-hand side, the amenities. What the property has. Oh, Sadaka, can we change the status from active to hold and so on? Sadaka, I do believe that your property website does have other statuses like sold, it's in escrow, it's coming soon, and of course the custom status, hold, withdrawn, expired. Not that you would advertise an expired listing or a withdrawn listing, or even a canceled listing. If the property is canceled, guess what? That means that your contract is canceled and you're no longer allowed to advertise that property. So chances are you're going to make it unpublished. If the property just recently sold, sure, you can make it as it's published and change the status to it just sold, or it's currently in escrow. As for the other inactive statuses, then I would put your property website as inactive or not published. Does that help? Coming soon is fine, because again, you're allowed to pre-advertise, just not show the property. Excellent. All right, here under the amenities, you have a list of amenities, but there's only a small list. If you wanted one of these, just simply click on the amenity or amenities that the property has. Now, you're not limited to just this. Say there's something unique, or there are unique items in the house that's not in this list. Not a problem. Click in the box that says amenities and now type what the amenities are. And then hit tab. So type in the amenity. just like so. Now, by the way, these amenities are also going to be considered keywords. So if somebody's doing a search on, say, Google, these keywords are now also going to hit your website to elevate it in the list of available websites for somebody to peruse and hopefully view on the web. What happens when we link to Facebook? We'll get there, Sadaka, because you're not linking it just yet because we haven't published it. Now, by the way, after you put in the amenities, a new added bonus here that was just added last year, your open house dates. You can actually advertise an open house for your property. So that people going to your property website will see when you're having open houses. Because again, this is going to go out to the public. So here at step 2, we're going to put in the property details about this property. Now, once we're done doing that, we're going to hit save, which is found here at the upper right corner of the screen. Save this information. If you do not hit save and you go to something else, then it's going to delete all your work. So always hit save. Number 3 thing that we're going to do, upload photos. Here under the photo gallery, as found on the left, we're now going to upload photos to the property website. Now, by any chance, does anybody know how many photos a listing in the MLS can have? Anybody know? Sadaka, 70, very close. 75. You're allowed up to 75 photos, but those photos can be no larger than 2 megabytes each. So typically, those photos are either going to be low to medium resolution shots. Now, if you've ever had a photographer take photos of a property, they tend to like to give you choice, right, for your listings. So they give you maybe, or they may take anywhere from 100 to 200 photos. And some of those photos actually may be high definition photos, like larger than 2 megabytes. Even though they may send you a set of photos great for the MLS, they still want you to use or have access to the high definition photos, the high res. Well, here on our property website, like with the property description, we are unlimited to the amount of photos that we can have on our property website. And there is no size limitation. So we can now take those high res photos, the ones that are greater than 2 megabytes in file size, we can now use those for our property website. Now, if you've ever uploaded a photo in the MLS, it can be a little cumbersome, right? You have to go under Add Edit, bring up your listing, go under Manage Photos, and then go to Browse and look for your photos, right? And then even then, reordering them, like putting them in an order, may be a little tedious. Well, let me show you how easy it is to upload some photos here. To upload photos, step 3 for my property website, I'm going to very simply choose Add Files. I'm now going to browse my computer for those files, and let me see here if I have my RELA photo somewhere. There we go. Now I can select my photos. And then I can say Open. Now you'll notice here that in about 3, 4, 5 seconds here, the photos are now being processed. So here I've uploaded 14 photos for my property website, and it took us less than 30 seconds to do. Now there's a couple of things here real quick. I can rearrange these. How I can rearrange them? Simply move my mouse over top of the photo, click and hold, drag it, and move it where I need it to go. So very quickly and easily, I can move my photos around and place them in whatever order I want on my property website. So step 3, upload my photos. Step 4, theme and contacts. Making my website look the way I want it to look, having my information on the website. Here under the theme and contacts, we see here that we're using a current theme, the Rubik _ version 2. Over here towards the right, we actually get to see what the property website looks like. So it's a nice little preview. You see here the main photo, the property address, the open house. We're going to scroll through here, see the list price, bedroom, bathroom, property description, the listing photos, the amenities, but down below, listing presented by, it's got my information. You'll also notice on here, get in touch. Now, unlike some of these other property websites like Realtor.com or Zillow, getting in touch with somebody sends that client to somebody else. Not the case here. This is your property website. Any lead that puts their information in here and sends an inquiry, you are automatically notified within 2 minutes. And I do believe you're notified via email. Now, if you don't like this particular theme, not to worry. Come over to where it says current theme, choose the button that says change theme, and we'll zoom in here. And RELA, for our Orange County realtors, now gives you various different themes to choose from, various different property templates. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 different property websites on how our property can look. Simply select one. Now the screen is going to refresh, and we're going to see here what the property website looks like. So we can now choose our own individual websites for all of our properties. Underneath the current theme, or the theme, we can upload our company logo as required by DRE. Got to have your company information, okay? So put your company logo on your property website. Just simply click here to add the logo and browse your computer for that logo, and then upload it. From here, under your contact information, you can do this for the very first time, hit edit. When you hit edit, this is where you're going to need to modify your contact information. So here, put your photo, make sure your name is spelled correctly, your title as a realtor, your phone number, your email address, the company you work for, and your DRE license number. By the way, that's first point of requirement, right? DRE license number, the full name of the company, and your full name. You can even reference your own personal website for yourself. Now you also have access to social media. So you can link your social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Vimeo, whatever other system that you are doing your social media marketing campaign on. From here, after you select it, input the address, then hit Save Contact. Now, by the way, you only have to do that the very first time. Short of changing the company, if you upload your company logo and upload your contact information, that can remain the same. Sadaka asks, does the property have to be in the MLS? The answer to that, Sadaka, is yes. If you are publicly marketing the property is required per clear cooperation rules, per MLS, per state, per nation. That property must be in the MLS. If the property is not going to be in the MLS and the property is going to be registered, that means that you cannot market the property in any format. Okay? So If you're allowed to market the property, then the property must be in the MLS. Does that help? So you can't game the system. By the way, if you don't put the property in the MLS and you're marketing the property, then you're looking at minimum $2,500 fine. Up to 1% of the list price. So be very careful. What if the seller agrees to keep it off? Then you cannot market the property. The listing must be registered, and that means that you cannot put any advertisements out there about the property being for sale. Please look at your listing agreement, paragraph 7, specifically 7D. If you're looking at our MLS rules, it is MLS rule 7.9 of what is considered marketing. So it means that you can't do this if the seller is not willing to allow you to input that listing in the MLS. That means that you're not allowed to market the property in any format. Does that help? Maybe? Okay. So here's step 4. We choose our theme. We input our information. Now step 5. All we need to do now, come over here to where it says not published, click on the down arrow, and now we can publish the property. Now, once you publish the property, the domain, RELA automatically creates a free domain name for this property website, automatically. It will always be the property address .rela.hq.com. And again, that's free. If you choose to add or want a custom domain name, then RELA will charge you $14.95 to have a domain name created that you want. Or if you happen to go on to say GoDaddy and bought a domain name, you could then tie that to this website as well. But again, those cost money. If you don't want to spend the money on this, then let the system generate the domain name for you. Now we can take this link and begin to share it out on all of our marketing platforms. Put it on our personal website. Put it on the, on our social media. Do a video about it. Put it on our flyers, things like this. Alex asks, I see some realtors advertise on Facebook saying they have a pocket listing. Seller wants to keep it off the MLS. Contact me for details. Is that okay? The answer to that, Alex, is no, it is not okay. If they are advertising a pocket listing that is not in the MLS, then they are in major violation of the MLS rules. And trust me, CRMLS will go after them. So if you have, an address or anything like that, send it to compliance@crmls.org. Send them a screenshot of that Facebook advertisement, and guaranteed CRMLS will go after those types of listings, especially if they're CRMLS agents. And again, they could face up to $15,000 with suspension of MLS, or again, 1% of the list price as a violation. Because again, the contract clearly states that if they're going to keep it, if the seller wants you to keep it out of the MLS, they're also not allowing you to do any marketing at all. So, they've just got to be really careful on that. Got it. Awesome. All right. So those were the 5 easy steps. So if you did nothing else, you could create your property websites, right? Follow those steps. You add the property, add the details, add the photos, choose your theme, and then publish it. That's it. That should take you less than 3 minutes. But wait, in this 3-minute time frame, we do have a very beautiful website. We can capture leads, this, that, and the other. But golly, what are all these other tools that we can access? This is where RELA is really going to make you as a real estate agent shine for your sellers and any other potential clients, and hopefully sell this property even quicker. So, by the way, are there any questions on the 5 easy steps? Registered allows marketing within the office. That's true, Sadaka, within the office. That's it. Facebook is not within the office. A public website published on the web is not within the office. So doing a property website that's on the web that can be found by a Google search is not is marketing. So you can talk about the property in your office, but only to the other agents. Now, if those agents go out and talk to the other clients and other people out in the public about your property, now that is considered marketing, which is also a violation. The point is, I should be able to use a website. No, sir. What does the web do? It allows anybody on the web to find the property, correct? Correct. That means that you are publicly advertising this property as being for sale. So if you are publicly advertising when on the listing agreement it states that no marketing is allowed to be done, then you are in violation of your contract, as well as the MLS rules about non-advertisement of the property. So creating a property website that can be found on the internet by anyone, not just other agents, but by anybody, is considered public advertising. But you and I can talk about that, of what you consider advertising or not advertising, after class, if you would like. Is that okay? I feel like we all need additional session on this. Not a problem, Alex. This is also why we're recording today's session, so that you can go through this over and over again. And trust me, if you want, you can create the property website for, say, your own personal home. Just don't publish it. That way you can play with all your tools. Does that help? Excellent. All right, so what are these extra bells and whistles over here to the left? Well, the first thing that we're going to do here, underneath details. We had talked about here under the details that we can advertise our open houses, right? Well, you'll notice that underneath those details, once published, can you update any info if needed? Yes, Will, or William, you can, because again, you are in charge of this property website. You can publish it. You can then make it non-published, so you're taking it down off the web. You can change the list price if need be. You can change photos. You can do whatever you want to this website. So yes, you can do all of that because you're the one that's in charge of this. You're welcome. All right, so underneath the details, you have showing schedule. You as a listing agent on your property can actually set up a showing request on your personal property, or actually on your property website. Just simply come here to the showing schedule, choose add new, and now what you can do is indicate when you are doing a showing. Maybe appointments, actually, let's do Facebook Live, right? Facebook Live tour. From here, we can say that it's a live stream. We can indicate when we're holding it. And of course, we can now put in the link. Okay. If it's in person, what we can now do is allow the person and say appointments. And from here, we can say, all right, on this date, the 21st, we'll take appointments between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. So that, again, on the property website, people can actually set up an appointment with me on my website. Now, besides the showing schedule, allow visitors to request a tour from the property website. I can turn that off or turn it from off to use a standard calendar. So now if we look at that theme real quick and look at the website, you'll see here, there's now a new little button that they can schedule a tour, an in-person or virtual showing with me, either morning, afternoon, on a particular date. And at this point, I can hit request this time. And now an email is going to be sent to me, the listing agent of John and Jane Smith, wanting to see this property, which is great. Who doesn't like that? Now, by the way, this was just added in about 7 months ago, this feature. Next, back at the photo gallery. Here we've got the photos. But maybe, geez, we've looked at that website and I want something under that title screen to kind of go through all the photos without somebody having to cycle down and look at the photos. So here under the photo gallery, number one, I can write a description about the photo. Right, so here we can write in some information, right? So we can now put in little descriptors or little titles underneath each photo. Now, besides that, under the gallery options, if we click on the gear icon here, we can actually turn on a virtual tour, meaning we can make a slideshow of the photos. Just simply click on the off choice. From here, under the settings, we go enable. We can set the duration, meaning how long it scrolls between the photos, maybe 4 seconds. And we can go with the pan zoom, where the zoom randomize it or fade in and out. Maybe we want to fade in and out. Now I can hit save and close. When I do that, I can look at the theme. And we're going to see here in 5, there we go. It's now scrolling through the pictures. So it's now a little bit more of an interactive video or an interactive slideshow. Julie asks, once a potential client has scheduled a time, does that time disappear so another potential one can't book it? Good question. I don't think so. So you may have to make sure that on your personal calendar, you block out your times. But you're going to get the person's name, phone number, email address sent to you, requesting the time, so you can always reach back out to that potential client and say, you know what, 10 o'clock doesn't work, but maybe 10:30 does, because I already have a prior appointment. Does that help, Julie? Yes, excellent. All right. Besides the photo gallery, videos and 3D tours. So this is where we can upload our video virtual tours or the 3D tours that we can get about the property. Now, first and foremost, we're going to start off with just the videos. Here are unlike MLS. MLS has only allows, or mostly really only allows for you to upload an unbranded video, right? If you have a photographer that takes your photos, sometimes they'll charge you an extra fee to make an unbranded video that you can upload as part of the MLS. That's all well and good. Now, if you're like me and you love making videos and you're using one of the many video tools out there in the world, like iMovie, WeVideo, GoTo, or Movie Maker, or something like that, you can take those slides or those pictures and make your own video. If you make your own video, maybe you put it on your own personal YouTube channel for your own advertising. Great. What we can now do is click on Add a Video here, and we can now either upload a link, say from YouTube or Vimeo, or we can actually upload the actual video file itself. Now, a video here in this case is also way beyond just of the house. So MLS only allows you to upload the property video, right? But what happens if you're doing a video marketing campaign? Meaning that you've done an introductory video of who you are. Maybe you've done a community video about the city that this property just happens to be in, where you talk about the city and what's nice about living here and this, that, and the other. Well, guess what? Like the photos where you're unlimited on the amount of photos you can upload, here under the video section, you can now upload all the pertinent videos for this home. Not only can I upload the virtual video for this property, but I can upload my personal video, my intro video of who I am and my team. I can upload my community video, highlighting some of the aspects of this property in Laguna Hills, right? Because of what's the benefits of living in Laguna Hills, so on and so forth. So I can now upload those types of videos. Now, if you're into Matterport or 3D tours or 360 tours, then this would also be a great place for you to upload those. Now, how many of you have ever heard of Matterport? Couple of you? Yes, excellent. Now, for those of you who have never seen a Matterport tour before, this is kind of what it looks like. And one of the major things that I've been talking about for the past 6-7 years of why this tour is so huge today. Here, this now gives a person the ability to virtually walk through the property. So here we have what the property looks like as a dollhouse, but now what we can do is move around the home. I can walk through every room, looking at all aspects of the property. Whoops. Looking out the windows, looking at the fireplace, looking up, looking down, looking around. Walk through the property, into every room. Now, these types of tours became super popular a few years ago, but really has gained a lot of segue since the pandemic. Why? Well, now what we can do with a tour like this, even if the client is international or across the nation, they can now still walk through the property without necessarily flying out here to actually look at the home. It's because of tours like this that clients nowadays or buyers nowadays don't want to see 40, 50, 60 properties. They only want to see their best 5. Why? Because they've already been through the house. Like the videos, you can upload as many of your 3D tours about this property as you want. Besides the videos, music. We can add music to the website. Here you are given 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21 different songs on the website. So now what are we going to do? We're going to get people in the mood to view our property. All we need to do, hit play, listen to the song, so find a song you like. Kind of sets the tempo, set the mood. If you like it, then choose add. Because again, this is all free, all part of your benefit. So again, when we look at that theme, or look at the website previewing it, we now can tie things together. We become more of the artist, right? We got our virtual tours, we've got our photos, we got our videos, we got everything that we need right here. Another choice here, docs and floor plans. I love this tool. Here you can upload PDF files for your property website. Now, why is this a good choice here? Well, you're doing a lease listing, right? You've got a lease listing in the MLS. Here you do a lease listing property website for your lease. Guess what you can add here under your docs area? A PDF version of the application to rent. And maybe a PDF document indicating to those tenants what they need to submit when it comes to their application and the details of their application. So now what they can do is when they are on your website, now print out an application, fill it out, sign it, and now because they've got your information on the property website, they can now email you a direct application for your landlord to look through. Let's see here. The next choice here, the brochures section. I love this choice here. What we can now do is create flyers, brochures, social media style posts, and of course, postcards. So when you're advertising a property, how many of you pay somebody to make a flyer? Anybody? Or do you even do flyers for your listings? Yes, you do, Alex. Alex, let me ask, do you pay a couple $100 to make a flyer? And sure, right? A couple $100, and it probably takes them what? Anywhere from 2, 3, 4 days to get you that flyer? And heaven forbid they ever do it wrong. 2 to 3 days, right? Well, what happens if you're needing stuff by tomorrow? Well, guess what? Here on my property website, I can actually make a flyer. Now, what's cool about this is that RELA gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different flyer templates to choose from. All of these are fully customizable. All of these are high-def PDF files. So when they're printed, they are gorgeous. Some of them are lengthwise. Some of them are front and back. This is all free. So now, Alex, instead of spending, or Sadaka, spending a couple of $100 for somebody else to do exactly what you can do, but it takes them 2 to 3 days to do it, you can do it in a matter of minutes. So here, let's look at, I don't know, let's just grab one. I'm going to select it by clicking on the down arrow and saying use this design. Now from here, the flyer opens up. To edit this flyer, I can just simply click on the magnifying glass, and now everything about this flyer is fully customizable. I can click on a photo, move it, crop it, readjust it, add in more photos. I can take the text and I can change the colors. I can make it bold, italicized. Maybe the font size is a little bit different. Maybe I do the letter spacing a little bit differently. You know, do whatever I want to do that to this. Right? So I can fully customize this. I can add in extra images. I can add in shapes. I can add in grids or my information on this flyer. Now I save it. Now what I can do after I save it, come down or go back, and now I can download this PDF. If I download the PDF, I can now email it to my print guy. Hey, I need 120 copies by tomorrow. Please print this for me. Now you're just spending money on print. You're not spending money on design, approval, and then print. So you're cutting a lot of steps out. Anybody like that? Nice, huh? All right. Next one. Come on. Oh, there it is. The next one, the brochures. How many of you have ever been in those multi-million-dollar properties? Usually those multi-million-dollar properties are in like Corona Del Mar or Laguna Beach or San Clemente or Dana Point, right? And you've gone into those multi-million-dollar properties and they've got that beautiful booklet about the property sitting there on the kitchen table. Has anybody ever seen those or even tried to purchase those before? Those are probably what, I think the last time I looked, I think one company was charging $500 per book to make it and print it on that lovely cardstock. $500 to design it for you, right? Well, guess what? Remember we were talking about saving money? Here are the brochures. Here are the nice, beautiful 4-page books. And again, these books are fully customizable, just like the flyers. So maybe I like that landscape for that 4-page clean look. And now what I can do is I can go through the individual pages and changing the things around. Once I change things around, maybe change out a photo or two, this, that, and the other, download it, send it to the printer on that beautiful, lovely cardstock. Now, instead of $500 per book, it might only cost me maybe $5 or $10 per book because I've already done the design. For those of you posting on social media, geez, I need to come up with a nice, cool looking image just to even post this property on my social media. Oh, Christina asked, is there a recommended prayer that works with this company? As a matter of fact, I do believe RELA does do printing for you. Let me see here. Wait a minute, let's go back to their dashboard. Their dashboard, they do have the ability to print for you. I think they charge you a nominal fee. I just don't know what their fee is. And I don't know what their turnaround time is. But they will do it themselves. So if you create it and say, okay, let's send it to the RELA guys for them to print it out, then they will get it over to you. I just don't know what they'll charge you for printing and shipping. Want to make sure this is the quality is good. Christina, trust me, I've printed it out at Kinko's, and Kinko's charges you what, 30 cents a page, you know, depending on what it is that you want done, and they're pretty reasonable. I want to say these guys are a little bit different. Let's see. Maybe we've got something here. I know that they've got the ability to do that. And let's go back to the brochures again. Let's see here. Add a page. Order prints. Here are the order prints. 25 copies, $60. Standard glossy 9-point cardstock. Standard matte, 10-point stock. No matter what. 25 copies, $60, 50, 110, 250 copies, and that's just of the brochure. So 250 copies of a 4-page front and back brochure, $330. That's way better than $500 per brochure. That's great to know that Kinko's can do this too. Yeah, they can. I just don't know what they charge anymore. But at least here they can get it to you. Again, I'm not familiar with how their turnaround time is, but my understanding is that they are pretty darn quick. Let's see here. Social media. Here you've got several templates for a nice one-shot for any of your social media platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, whatever. Just listed, just sold. And again, everything about this little posting is fully customizable. You can change colors around, change the pictures around, just simply select what you want and then download it and then upload it. Maybe you even put the hyperlink into the photo or into the PDF so that when somebody clicks on it, they now are redirected back to the property website. And of course, the last thing here is the postcards. Just listed, just sold postcards. Now here you've got a few more postcards. I want to say, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 20 different types of postcards. All different sizes: 4 by 6, 8.5 by 5.5, 6 by 11, whatever. All front and back. Front and back postcards. So now what we can do is have our information, what it's sold by. We can change things around, change the photos around, do whatever we need to. And of course, we got the area. Great for my EDM, my electronic distribution system that does my mailers. I can now download this file, send out these postcards to these addresses in this neighborhood, and now I've saved a ton of money and time waiting for somebody to make up a postcard. Anybody like this? Anybody excited about this? Excellent, excellent. Like to see the hands raised. Whoop, whoop. So now, the other part, social media marketing. Your RELA, your property website and RELA. And of course, gotta love when Zoom hides all my little windows here. Back under the property details for my property. If I have this published, then what I can do is I can create a Facebook targeted ad. Okay. Now, if you've ever made a Facebook targeted ad before on Facebook through your business page, it probably takes you anywhere on average between 15 to 20 minutes to make the ad, right? Whereby not only do you put everything together yourself, but you then have to pick out what demographics you want to hit, the range you want to hit, and of course, how much money you want to spend. Okay? Which is all well and good. But who's got 15 to 20 minutes to make something like that? Not everybody. Here, what I love about this system is that you can literally create a Facebook targeted ad for your property website in about less than 5 minutes. All you got to do is that the first time you do this and you make a property website, you're going to click on Get Started. And when you get started, it's going to want to ask you, can we log into your Facebook business account or your Facebook business page? You want to allow for that. So that means that you need to be logged into your Facebook. Now, when you do that, let me find this little video here. And I'm not going to play the video, but I'm just going to skip through to the important parts here. Okay. So after you create the property website, what you're then going to do from here is you're going to click on Get Started. Now, if you're logged in at this point, then their ad creator is going to come up. So what is it that you want the ad to do? So right away, your channel is going to be linked into your Facebook business page. Here, you've got a budget. And I don't know if you guys can see that or not, because for some reason, come on. There we go. Your budget and timing. How long you want to run the ad. Here, we can say when the ad starts, when the ad finishes. We can now put a budget on this ad. Now, currently, I do believe the ad is about $7 to $8 per day to run. So, you need to run it at least for maybe a couple of days. I would say budget yourself for at least $100. That's around 2 weeks. Okay? So here you can put your budget together. It is a little blurry. I apologize. Just because I've expanded it out to take up my full screen, I totally apologize for that. But here, you give yourself a budget. $100 to run a 2-week ad. When you want it to start, when you want it to end. Under the audience, what is it that you're trying to accomplish with the ad? Are you trying to accomplish generating leads or getting leads? Or do you just want people to view the property website? Typically, for you all, you want to generate a lead. What kind of lead do you want to get? A buyer lead, an agent lead, a lender, or an investor? Chances are you're trying to find a buyer for this property. You're just going to simply select buyer. Now, with the new Facebook advertising and the limitations and things like that, there's not going to be a gender or an age slot that you can pick. It's because that would be considered discrimination to pick one over the other. Under the audience location, it's going to be distance from the subject property. You can go 5, 10, 30, 50, 100 miles out from the subject property to find a lead. Now, once you pick that distance, and I would maximize that distance to be quite expansive, you're then going to hit next. Now, when you hit next, a little preview of what the ad looks like. Now, this is where, like the flyers, like the brochures, this entire ad is fully customizable. Now, it's going to reference your Facebook business page name, so make sure that your Facebook business page is set up correctly to be DRE compliant. Here you can enter in a nice little personalized message, which I would definitely recommend doing. Down below, it's going to indicate just listed, but again, you can rewrite over this if you want, but I would do this the day that you list the property. But more importantly, you've got a button here that says Learn More, and we'll talk about this here in a second. But you've got the main photo from the property website. Now, like with any targeted ad, you can change these photos around. You can even upload the video for the property instead. I will say that video gets more views in a targeted ad than, say, still shot pictures. So make sure that you have a video of the property. Once you customize everything that you want about this ad, which again should take you less than 2 or 3 minutes to do, you can pick out your photos, things like that. You're then going to hit next. Once you hit next, now you've got a chance to review. Here, the ad status, either published or not, or publish the ad. But before you do that, what are the goals of the ad? How much money you're going to spend for the time frame, what's the objective, and what the ad looks like. At this point, when you hit publish, then the ad will go out. As a matter of fact, it will actually prompt you to pay for your ad So it's going to take your credit card information. Now at this point, what happens with the ad? Where does it show up? Here in Facebook, the ad will always show up in someone's news feed. So as someone is going through their news feed on Facebook, this ad will appear like every other ad. Not only what people are posting on their Facebook, but the ads will appear here as well. Now, a couple of things that can happen here. You'll notice my like page. That means that it directs me or directs this person back to my Facebook business page that they can now be a like, which I can now friend the person to be friends with me on my Facebook personal page to now build rapport. But more importantly, down below, they have the property website. They can like it, they can connect, or even better yet, learn more. They click on learn more. Oops, when we have a question here, is it branded for our pic and logo? The property website is yes. This is where the Facebook business page name needs to make sure that you're DRE compliant. So the business page name should be your name with your DRE license on it. And the title of the ad, where you can write in some text, should have your company information, Jack and Jill Real Estate. And then you can, hey, check out this brand new listing if you want. Okay? That way the ad is fully compliant with DRE. Does that help, Alex? Excellent. All right. So from here, somebody who's interested in maybe wanting to learn more about this property clicks on that button that says learn more. When they do that, whoops, a window opens up. It immediately has their name, their email address that they created with Facebook, and of course their phone number. Why? Because Facebook requires a person's name, their email address, and their phone number on their accounts. So that means that Facebook has now pre-vetted this person's information for you. They have to give true information about themselves when they create a Facebook page or a Facebook account. So now they hit submit. When they hit submit, not only does the property website capture their information, their name, their email address, and their phone number, but you are sent an email by RELA to you that says a lead has clicked on your ad. Now, what happens here? We are then going to go back into our property website. Okay, whoops. Now from there, what we're going to do is we're going to look at some analytics. We're going to notice here that under the analytics, whoops, the ad performance. So the dates, we're going to see here that in the ad, how much money we've spent out of the ad, how many impressions or how many people saw the ad, how many people actually clicked on the ad to look at it, and of course, how many leads we actually captured from the ad. So they can click on learn more, right, which would be considered a click, but unless they hit submit, it's not a lead. Now these leads will be down below. So for your $100 investment, you can see have so many people look at the ad, so many people click on the ad and actually capture direct leads. Now in this lead list, and let me get to that section here. Oops. If you click on that lead's name, it will show you their phone number and their email address. You can send them a direct email, or you can call them, or even better yet, you can take those leads that are in this list, and there's a button to export them into a CSV file, which you can now download into your CRM, your contact retention management system. So this sort of thing does work. Give you a couple examples. Number one example I love using was from about 3 to 4 years ago. I was going over this in a class at Laguna Woods Properties, whereby the average age of the agent is probably roughly over the age of 50, 60 years old. And there was a gentleman by the name of Warren. Now, Warren happened to be 72 years old. I was teaching this class to those agents, and he said, well, Tony, it can't be this easy. And I said, Warren, trust me, it is. So after class, I sat down with Warren. He had a property website already pre-created through RELA because he thought that was pretty easy, but the ad, he just wasn't sure if that was going to be easy or not. So he and I sat down and I walked him through exactly what I just showed you here. Click on Get Started, pick out a time frame, how much money you want to spend, and then change anything about the ad if you want. What Warren did was, I wanted to run a 2-week ad. I want to spend $100, and the way the ad looks fine to me. So he hit publish. I said, he goes, wow, that's pretty easy. And I said, great. Now, Warren, give me a call and let me know if you get any leads. Now, funny enough, a month goes by. I go, get ready to go the very one day back out to the office to give another training on video marketing. And Warren happened to give me a call and said, hey, Tony, I totally forgot to give you a call to let you know about that RELA ad. And I said, oh, yeah, that's right. How did it go, Warren? He goes, well, it was amazing. He goes, I ran that 2-week ad. I spent my $100. In that $100, I had 1,300 clicks or impressions. Out of those 1,300 impressions, I had 95 people click on the ad itself. And out of those 95 people, I got 13 leads. And I said, that's awesome, Warren. How many of those leads did you convert? And he got dead silent over the phone. And I said, Warren, did you not call any of the leads yet? He goes, no, I didn't call them yet. I said, Warren, I'm coming out to your office tomorrow. I want you to attest how easy this was. But between now and then, I want you to give those people a call. I don't care if nobody returns a phone call or picks up, but at least say that you called them and tell me if you got anything out of it. So the next day comes up. They're at the office. I said, hey, guys, Warren did this ad. Warren, can you tell me what your experience was like? And he told the other agents. It was really easy, and I was amazed at what happened. And I said, all right, Warren, read me your stats. So he read them off. 1,300, 95 clicks, 13 leads, which everybody really was like, wow. And I said, Warren, how many of those 13 leads did you call? And he laughed. He goes, well, Tony, until I talked to you yesterday, I hadn't called anybody. To which the broker laughed and said, hey, guys, if you're spending money on leads, you should call them, right? I go, Warren, did you call them between yesterday and today? He goes, I sure did. He goes, Tony, thank you for making me call them. He goes, out of those 13 leads, I converted 6 of them. He goes, 6 of them want me to show them properties, 2 of which want to look at this property that they saw the ad on and go from there. I said, that's awesome. He calls me another month later and says, Tony, out of those 6 leads, he goes, I got into escrow on all of them, one of which actually made an offer on this property that they accepted, so I double-ended it. I had another property that I represented the other 5 people on as buyer's agents, and we're now in escrow. He goes, so far, I've doubled my income from last year. So for his $100 investment, he got 6 viable leads, and he happened to get them all into escrow, which I'm really proud of him for. So that's one thing that I know works. 2, my wife, who's a real estate agent, showed her how to use RELA last week. Showed her how to do the Facebook targeted ad. Now, she, instead of running a 2-week ad, ran a 3-day ad campaign. So she only wanted to spend $20-some to run a 3-day ad just to see what it was like. And in her 3-day ad of $21, going 35 miles out from the subject property, she got 800 views or impressions, Out of those, she got 15 clicks, and out of those 15 clicks, she got 2 leads. So for $21, she got 2 viable leads, and she was able to convert them within those 2 or 3 days. And right now, she's working with them as buyers, showing in and around Mission Viejo. So this does work. You just got to follow up. Are there any questions on any of this? Anybody like any of this? Excellent. So, if anything, at least create your account. Now, by the way, before we end today, I do want to say, what do we do once the property goes into escrow or what have you? Great. All you need to do, go into your property management or log back into RELA, look at your property list. Okay, so manage properties, select the property, and from there, take it from published and then make it not published. You do not want to delete this. 2 reasons. Number one, what happens if the property comes up for sale later on, say a year or 2 from now? All you got to do is take it from not published back to published. 2, this is great for potential sellers. So now what you can do is take this list at your listing appointment and demonstrate exactly what you do for that particular seller to sell their home. Hey, I make property websites, this, that, and the other. Here we can look at the reports and the analytics about how well that property did in its advertising. So when I do Facebook targeted ads, this is what my results were. So this now becomes a viable tool to show and demonstrate what it is that you as an agent do specifically for your clients. Let's see here. Julie says, yes, mind-blowing regarding the realization that Facebook has emails and phone numbers. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's amazing what data they can they collect on everybody who's a Facebook user. Could you talk again about where to copy the URL address from where it's hosted? Sure. When you're in your property details and you're editing, under your domain section, here is the property website. So all you're going to do is you're going to copy it and put it out there to the world. You can maybe do that just listed flyer and then copy this link and embed it into that flyer on the PDF. Maybe you put it in an email newsletter. Hey, just listed 25552 La Paz Road, things like that. So you're just getting that blasted out there. Maybe you even do a video about it. Hey, just listed this property. Click on the link in the description or, what have you to see the property. Great. Awesome, Alex. Hopefully I'm giving you guys ideas. Terrific info. Thanks very much, May. Are there any other questions? Thank you. Thank you very much, Julie. I try to give you guys ideas because obviously, not everybody's going to do them, but at least it gives you an avenue of what you could do with this. I just think it's a really neat thing. I will say that under their lead collection, before you go, you can put all this information, SEO, social media. Not only can you put it to your Facebook, you can also your Twitter accounts. You can change the image around on how it appears. And then what you'll do is you'll copy and paste that link onto that platform. Is this recording of this session going to be available? Yes, it will be, Alex. So yes, everybody attending today will get a copy of today's webinar, if not today, by tomorrow in the follow-up email, for sure. Awesome. Are there any other questions? Well, if there's no other questions, I want to thank everybody for attending today. If you do have any questions and you're thinking about it, oh, geez, I forgot to ask this, call me or email me. You can call me anytime, Monday through Friday. My phone number, and I'll write this in the chat. My phone number is 949-586-6800. My extension is 104. Or email me at Tony, Tony, at ocrealtors.org. Let's see here. Do I have any more classes coming up? As a matter of fact, Alex, I do. At 4 o'clock, I do have a class on your electronic business card called Savvy Card, SAVVYCARD. And this is your free member benefit for having an electronic business card. And there are some really cool tools that you can utilize with this. So I show you how to access it, how to share it, how to add things to it so that it's got all the necessary pertinent information. So now instead of having physical business cards that you might run out of, you've got your phone with you at all times. And again, very easy to share with somebody. Is Savvy Card better than Popl? I've never heard of Popl. Popl. I would say Savvy Card is free. So it's free to all of the members. So if you have to pay for Popl, right there, free is good. So right away. Plus, there's a bunch of other cool things in here that goes beyond just being a business card. It's got all of your listings. It's got a search listings feature. It's all about direct contact. So that's at 4 o'clock, so in a half hour. You do pay for Popl. Well, there you go. Pay or not to pay. Nowadays with inflation, cost of living, everything like that, that's just going up. Might as well take advantage of the free stuff where you can, when you can, right? Creating free property websites, who doesn't like that? To advertise your listing. Having an electronic business card where you're not spending money getting physical cards, where people just don't want to take these anymore. Text them your information. So and then some. Can we get a link to the next webinar? Sure. Let's see here. I do believe it's on our website, ocrealtors.org. If you haven't registered for that class just yet, just simply, you're going to come here. What's today? There we go, the 17th. And then to register today. And then I'm going to copy that link so you can register for the class. And I'm going to paste it right here in the chat. There you go. You're welcome. With that said, you guys, I hope to see you at 4 o'clock. And if I don't, I hope you guys enjoyed today. And again, feel free to call me or email me. And I will talk to you all really, really soon.